Welcome to the 12-Minute Leadership Podcast, where in 12 minutes or less, I'll share small things that you can put into immediate practice that will make a big difference in your leadership effectiveness. I'm your host, Elise Boggs-Morales, leadership professor, consultant, and coach. For the last 17 years, I have helped thousands of leaders level up their influence and achieve remarkable results. If you want to trade compliance for true commitment and create your dream team, you are in the right place. Get ready for a quick hit of practical wisdom to increase your team's engagement, inspire top performance, and retain your best talent. Ready to level up your influence and get better results? 12 minutes starts now. Hi everyone, Elise here. Welcome to episode 34. Today I want to talk about something a little different. In our last episode, we talked about leadership orange flags, early warning signs that if ignored can turn into bigger problems. Today, I want to flip that lens. I want to talk about green flags. Green flags are the quiet, often overlooked signs that someone has real leadership potential or is already a great leader, even if they're not always the loudest or most obvious one in the room. In my experience, organizations sometimes promote the most visible leaders, not the most effective ones. So today, I want to share 5 underrated green flags that I've seen again and again in exceptional leaders and in the people who often get overlooked for promotion. Let's start with the one that surprises a lot of people. Green flag number 1, introverts. They may not always catch your attention first. They're not always the loudest voice in the room. They're not always the one dominating meetings. But introverts often make exceptional leaders. Why? Because they're great listeners, they think things through, they process before reacting, and they create space for others to contribute. They tend to foster collaboration, build trust, and create a sense of psychological safety. In meetings, they don't dominate, they facilitate. In conflict, they don't react impulsively, they reflect. In teams, they often create camaraderie instead of competition. And in leadership, those qualities build loyalty and long-term trust. If your organization only promotes the most outspoken people in the room, you're probably missing some of your best leaders. Green flag number 2, less skilled but highly teachable. This one is so important. Character plus coachability often beats raw skill. In a perfect world, we'd always get high skill, strong character, and great attitude. But in the real world, leaders often have to choose. And I've worked alongside a lot of exhausted leaders lately who've realized something important. Keeping someone just because they're technically strong but very difficult to work with is incredibly expensive. This cost shows up in emotional energy, management time, team morale, and cultural drag. On the other hand, someone who has strong character, is eager to learn, receives feedback well, and takes ownership can often be developed technically far more easily than someone's character can be changed. Skills can be taught. Character is much harder to transform. If you have to choose, invest in the person who is teachable. Green flag number 3, EQ over IQ alone. Now let me be very clear, we want smart leaders, that's a given, but emotional intelligence is what gives leaders their real edge. EQ shows up as the ability to influence different personality types, the ability to regulate their emotions, the ability to create safety and connection, and the ability to handle conflict without creating fear. John D. Rockefeller said it beautifully. The ability to deal with people is as purchasable a commodity as sugar or coffee, and I will pay more for that ability than for any other under the sun. And yet, so many organizations still over-prioritize technical brilliance, sales numbers, assertiveness, and individual performance over the ability to actually lead human beings. When you find someone who's smart, emotionally aware, steady under pressure, and relationally skilled, you found leadership gold. Green flag number 4, they're not actively seeking leadership. This one is pretty counterintuitive. Some of the best leaders I've ever worked with weren't chasing leadership roles at all. Often, People who aggressively seek leadership want status, want power, want the title, and want the money. But the most effective leaders are often focused on doing great work, serving the team, and influencing from wherever they are. They don't need the spotlight, and yet people naturally trust them, seek them out, follow their lead, and value their perspective. So here's a great leadership question for you. Who do people already follow even without a title? That's usually where your real leadership potential is hiding. In green flag number 5, strong time and energy management. We often glamorize busyness, overwhelm, and I have no time, as if exhaustion is a badge of honor. But the best leaders I know are not frantic. They focus on what truly matters, they delegate effectively, protect their energy, and operate within a steady calm. Because of that, they have margin, can think strategically, and actually have space to develop others. Great leadership requires presence, and presence requires capacity. Leaders who manage their time and energy well create healthier teams and more sustainable performance. So in closing, let me leave you with this reflection. Who are you overlooking because they don't fit the stereotypical leadership mold? Or perhaps going through these green flags has helped you understand why some of your key leaders aren't effective, despite being smart and technically strong. Great leadership isn't always loud. Often it's steady, thoughtful, emotionally intelligent, and quietly influential. And if you learn to spot these green flags early, you'll build stronger leaders, healthier cultures, and far better long-term results. If this episode was helpful, share it with another leader who's thinking about their next generation of leaders. I'll see you next time. Like what you heard on today's episode and want to go deeper? Subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an episode. You can also pick up my book, Lead Anyone, on Amazon. Then, go to my website to check out ways that we can support your leadership goals. From executive retreats to customized training and coaching, my team of experts will help you level up your leadership and accelerate your results. Go to www.eliseboggs.com for more info.